Hi there, I'm Cath. Welcome to my channel made by Cath Craft, and welcome also to episode 4 of my midweek sewing chat. I'm really enjoying catching up with you guys on these midweek sewing chats. It's really nice to have a chat about what I've been up to on the sewing front and a little bit of life and knitting and that sort of thing thrown in too sometimes. So thank you so much for watching and for liking and for your lovely comments. I really appreciate you joining me on these videos. But today is Tuesday morning, so I'm hoping to put this video out tomorrow, which will be Wednesday morning. And it's a really sunny day here actually. It started off quite cloudy and the sun's really burned through already, so it's nice to have a little bit of sunshine. And I've got a few bits done on the last few days on the sewing front, so I'm really looking forward to sharing those all. We had quite a busy weekend. My son is nearly 9 now and he's definitely getting to that age where we're a bit of a taxi for him to get various different places. So at the weekend he had some sports activities he went to, he had a birthday party, and then also it was my sister's birthday quite recently, so we went to her house for a little get together at the weekend too. So it's quite a busy one, but I did manage to sneak in about an hour of sewing. And then yesterday, which is Monday, I had quite a nice quiet day. I often rush around the place on a Monday and get loads of things done, but I took a bit of time. I went for a run and then did a bit of sewing. So I've got a few things to share with you, so that is good. But first of all, I share with you what I'm wearing today. So today I'm still layered up because it's still fairly chilly out there. Underneath I have got a top which I made using a pattern from this book here. It is the Stretch Book by Tilly and the Buttons, and this is another Freya top, and this is one of my more recent Freya tops that I made. Mostly I've made them in cotton jersey, but this one is actually made in a tencel jersey, which was a new fabric for me. I've made something in a tencel lawn, like a woven tencel, but I'd never used a tencel jersey before, but it's quite similar to like a viscose jersey. I think it's a bit lighter weight and more drapey than a cotton jersey. And this one here is a Moot Milk fabric. It is their Derby ribbed jersey, and I got this from Minerva and I'll link it down below. It's got a really nice ribbing effect on it, and you can see I did a bit of twin needle there. And the colour of this one is Shell. It's quite a pretty sort of off-white creamy colour, which I thought would go with quite a lot of the navies and that sort of colour in my wardrobe. It was really nice to sew with. I was a bit worried it might stretch out when I sewed it, but I used my walking foot. It came out absolutely fine, and it's really nice and comfy to wear, and it's quite a nice layering piece because it is quite lightweight. So that's what I'm wearing underneath. And then over the top I've got a dress on, and this is one of my favourite dress patterns. I haven't made one for a while. I went through a phase where I made a few, and then I wear all of those quite a lot and I don't really need any more at all. But it's a really nice pattern. It is the Hinterland dress pattern by Sew Liberated. It's a woven dress pattern. I'll show you the little mini line drawings here. It is quite like a relaxed fit dress with a gathered skirt, and it's got a placket at the front. You can either make a full placket all the way down or just on the bodice. It's got little sleeves you can add on if you want, or you can make it sleeveless, and you can make the dress different lengths, and it's got pockets as well, and you can also add on waist ties to sort of cinch it in. And the version I'm wearing, as you can see, is a short sleeve version, and I have added the waist ties, and I've got buttons just on the bodice. You can probably see the buttons just about down the front here. And I made mine in some cotton ikat fabric that I got from Itokri. So I don't know whether you might have heard of Itokri. I only came across it about a year ago. It's an online Indian website, and they sell lots of really beautiful fabrics. The fabrics are shipped from India. So I made one order about, it probably must be a year ago, or maybe even longer actually. One loses track of time a little bit, I find. But I made an order because I really love cotton ikat fabrics, and I'd struggled to find that many in the UK. So I made an order of a few different ones, and then I've really enjoyed sewing with them all, and I really love wearing them because they're lovely soft cotton fabrics, and I like wearing cotton. They're not got like a sheen to them like a cotton lawn. They definitely feel more woven and soft. Yeah, how they're made. Anyway, I made a closet core poof using a couple of different ikat fabrics that I got from Itokri, and then I also made an estuary skirt by Sew Liberated, or a hacked estuary skirt in a black ikat fabric with these white spots on. And I also went on to make a Forsyth dress by French Navy as well, in a navy cotton ikat fabric, and I love wearing all of those. Well, I don't wear the poof obviously, but yeah, I love wearing all the garments I've made, and I love the poof too. So I'm really glad I made an order. I think I made one big order because there was a postage cost associated with it being shipped from India, so I wanted to make sure I bought a few things I definitely would use and really enjoyed them. So Anyway, this is kind of like a middle blue sort of fabric, and it's got these sort of pretty ikat designs on. It's got in the white and then a lighter blue colour. It was quite tricky cutting out this fabric, I remember, because it's kind of quite rustic, the fabric, so it's not all completely even and ordered. So when I was cutting out, trying to match it, and it's all a bit kind of not higgledy-piggledy, but a little, it wasn't exactly totally straight always. It was a bit of a challenge, but it was worth the time spent, I think. And I like how the fabric is a bit rustic like that. So the one thing I would mention, if you are sewing with it, I would recommend either overlocking the seams or doing French seams. I think I French seamed this dress because the fabric does tend to fray quite quickly because it's quite an open weave. So yeah, I think I French seamed everything on this dress. Yeah, which means hopefully it'll be built to last. But it's a really nice dress pattern, the hinterland dress, and really enjoyable to sew. It's got a bias bound neckline. I don't know whether you can see that. It's a really nice finish on the neckline, I think, with the bias binding. I just made the bias binding in the fabric. And it comes together really nicely. And in terms of sizing, I sized down on this because I think it's designed to be a bit oversized. So I went for the size 0, which is for bust 31 inches, waist 25 inches and hips 33.5 inches. And I'm bust 32, waist 26, hips 36. But when I looked at the finished garment measurements, there's plenty of room in the size 0, so I went for that, and I've always been happy with that. And I've got the waist ties too to cinch it in. And I've gone for the above the knee version, but I'll put a picture up so you can see what I'm wearing in my outfit today. I feel like I've talked quite a lot about that one, but it's a really nice dress pattern, this one. I've made a sleeveless version too. I've made a version where I've not added the button placket and just cut it on the fold, and that's quite nice too. But that's what I'm wearing today. Anyway, I'll share with you a bit about what I've been sewing the last few days. So firstly, in my last week, episode 3 sewing chat, I was sewing, you'll know, the New Look 6682 dress. I was sewing a wearable toile of it in some black viscose fabric, and I wanted to get it finished by the end of January so I could enter the Minerva Sewn with New Look challenge, which was running in January, where you had to post on the Minerva website a make you'd made using a New Look pattern. And I did finish that, and I managed to get some photos and got that posted, so that was quite nice to have finished it. And it was a bit of an more involved sew than I expected. I think it's one of the ones where I saw it was pretty, but I didn't really appreciate all the little details. There are sleeve vents in there, there's an invisible zip, quite a lot of gathering. Yeah, lots of bits and bobs in that, folds in that one. But I'll put a picture up of me wearing it so you can see how it turned out in case you're interested, and if you're not on Instagram, because I did post this on Instagram. But I won't talk too much about all the details of this one. I'll save that for my next makes video, which will be my January makes, which I'm hoping to release in a couple of weeks' time. But I was pleased to get that one finished, so I was glad that one did get finished. Another thing I thought I'd update you on for my previous sewing chat episodes is, you'll know I've been sewing some panties for my daughter. And when I sewed them up, she wanted me to add something so she could know which was the front and which was the back. And I added some little bows, and I'd ordered bows from 2 different places. And some of the bows had arrived, so I could show you in episode 3 last week, but some of them hadn't. But I thought I'd show you them now so you can see the difference in them. So these little bows here I got from a company called Fit to Sew, and they specifically sell all the accessories and things you need for bra making and lingerie making. So I got these little pink bows, and they're quite cute, and I've sewn some of these already onto her pants. But I also ordered some bows from an Etsy company, and I'll link them down below. I can't remember what they were called. And these bows were sort of described as suitable for using in card making, like if you're making sort of wedding cards or new baby cards and that sort of thing. It didn't say whether they'd be suitable for sort of clothes and things, so I thought I'd order some and see how they turned out. And they were really reasonably priced because I don't know how many I've got loads of them, but they came out as I think quite a lot more reasonably priced than the ones specifically from the lingerie website anyway. And here they are, and they've arrived, and they're really fine actually. Again, they're pink because my daughter wanted pink, and they're not quite as pretty as the other ones in terms of their shape. I'll show you. I think the other one's a bit more sort of, you can see. So a bit more simple, I guess, but I think they'll be absolutely fine for putting on her underwear. They're just a similar sort of satiny ribbon. Doesn't feel like much difference in how they feel. So I think they'll both work really well for putting on her panties, and I'm sure I'll be making more panties for her going forward as she gets bigger. I think she finds them quite comfy, so I can see me using quite a lot of these bows because I've got quite a lot here. So I'm really pleased actually, and I thought they were really good value actually to be able to get such a big load of them. I think they're only a couple of pounds or something, so I thought I'd mention that. So I've got lots of bows left for lots of pairs of pants in the future. Hopefully she won't go off the colour pink anytime soon. So yeah, I thought I'd mention that, but I'll link both companies below in case you fancy checking them out or you're interested in sewing underwear and putting on some little bows. And then also on the pants front, and I think this will be my last foray into making pants for a while, I thought I'd mention I started having a look at pants for my son. So after I finished the New Look dress, I thought I'd like something that's a fairly simple, quick project, and I knew my son was quite keen for me to give making underpants for him a go. So I had a look at all the pattern recommendations you guys had recommended for boys' underpants. So thank you so much for your recommendations. And I thought I'd mention the patterns people had recommended in case you're interested, and I'll also pop them all in the description down below. So the first pair were the Ellie Mac boys' briefs. Then there was the Stitch Upon Time kids' scrundle wear pants pattern. Then there was the Waves and Wild Speedy pants pattern. And the final one was the Peekaboo Pattern Shop classic boxers and briefs pattern. So there are 4 different options there, and I had to look at them all. And I decided to make just a kind of toile version for my son to see how the fit was. And I decided to use the Waves and Wild Speedy pants pattern. And a lot of people had recommended that one and said their sons found that quite comfy. So I thought that was good. But also it's a free pattern. So I thought, well, you can't go wrong with that. I'll just give it a go. So I downloaded that. Got it here somewhere. But yeah, it's a pattern where you can either make boxers or briefs. I'll try and put a line drawing up so you can see how it looks, because I don't think I've got it here with me. So I made a version for my son, and here they are, just in some leftover navy jersey I had before I cut into the fabric he really wanted me to use. So they sewed up really nicely actually. They're made using instead of using fold over elastic or lace elastic or anything for the legs and the top, you just use the actual jersey fabric itself. So it's a bit like putting in, I guess, like a neckline of a t-shirt so it's all nice and really soft and comfy. And they're quite a simple shape, and I really enjoyed sewing them. They turned out really nicely, sewed up really well. And I just went based on my son's measurement. I measured him around the waist and the hips and went on that size. And he tried them on, and they fit him really well. But unfortunately, he was not so keen on them. I don't know why. They looked like they fit him really nicely, but he said they didn't feel the same as the pants he usually likes. He's got a particular brand of pants that he loves. They're just ready to wear ones, and he's worn them for years, so it's not altogether surprising that it felt a bit different. So he decided he'd like to stick with his ready to wear pants. So I'm not sure I'll be making any more underpants for my son. So I'm glad that I made a pair in the practice fabric. So that was a bit of a shame, because I did enjoy being able to sew them up for him, but it's only worth making them if he's going to wear them, so never mind. It was a lovely little pants pattern though, so I definitely would recommend it, and it's got quite a good age range. It goes from 6 months to 12 years, and I do like how you get both the boxers and the briefs free with that pattern. So yeah, it was really, really good. But yeah, that's a bit of a shame. So what we've decided instead is, where's the fabric? He really loves this fabric, this Where's Wally fabric. I bought it originally from Minerva. I'll link it down below if they've still got any in stock. They had a few different Where's Wally prints on, and he chose this one. It's quite cool with all the details. It's a cotton jersey. And I originally had made him a t-shirt using this fabric. I think I used the Anything But Basic t-shirt by DIY Club. It's another free pattern. I'll link it down below if I can find that one as well. But I've got a decent amount left. So what we decided in the end was that I'm going to try and squeeze out of this fabric a little pair of pyjama shorts, because I think there might just be enough for that. And then he can still enjoy the fabric and have it as another thing that he can wear with it, because it seems a shame for it to not be used when he really likes this fabric. So that is my plan for this fabric. Instead of making it into boys' underpants, I'm going to turn it into a pair of pyjama shorts for him. And I think I'm going to use the Patterns for Pirates Walk the Plank pyjama bottoms pattern, which is another free pattern. There are so many great free patterns out there for kids, I find. And I used that a while before. It's designed for woven fabrics, and this is a jersey, but I made a jersey pair of those pyjama shorts for my daughter, and the pattern worked fine using jersey too, so I think it'll be fine for this Where's Wally fabric too. So I need to go away and trace out his size on that pattern and just turn these into pyjama shorts. There's no major rush because it's really cold here at the moment, so it'll be a while before he's wearing those, but it'd be nice to have those ready for him for summer. And nice to be able to make something for him as well as my daughter. I don't want him to feel left out of that. So yeah, I was really glad to give it a go, and I'm glad to have now a definite plan for this Where's Wally fabric. So yeah, that was one little thing I sewed up this week, that pair of little toile pants. I also have been sewing up one other thing this week. I actually sewed this up yesterday, this item, and it was on a bit of a whim really. I think it was because I was looking through my scrap fabrics to find some fabric to make into a pair of sort of a wearable toile pair of pants for my son. And I came across a couple of larger pieces of fabric that I thought I'd actually be able to squeeze a garment out of, and I thought I really should use rather than having sitting in a suitcase of bits of scraps. So I decided to download a pattern that I've been wanting to get this year anyway, and that is the Astaire t-shirt by French Navy. And it's a pattern I put on my Make 9 2022 list when I was looking for patterns I'd like to sew, because I really like French navy patterns, and I thought this t-shirt might be a great one for my wardrobe. And I've got it here, I printed it out. Unfortunately, our black ink when our printer ran out, so it doesn't really show all the details on this picture here, but I've got the line drawings too. It's a really nice relaxed fit t-shirt pattern for knit fabrics. It says it's for kind of cotton jersey style knit fabrics. You wouldn't want to go for anything too drapey. But here are the line drawings. I had to actually trace over them with a pen because they came out so faint because of our black ink having run out. So if the lines look a bit wobbly, it's my drawing rather than the actual pattern pieces. But here they are. It's a really nice... I'm just wondering if delivery stopped outside there. I'll keep talking. I might have to go off and get the delivery in a moment. It's a really nice boxy fit t-shirt. It's either got grown on short sleeves or you can add a long sleeve. But it's quite a boxy fit, a slight scoop neck. It's got a patch pocket on the front, and it's got this nice detail of a little split hem on the bottom, and you kind of twin needle stitch it and it comes together really nicely. So yeah, it's a really nice pattern. It's not got the biggest size range ever. Unfortunately, French navy patterns don't have the largest size range ever. So it goes from a size A, which is a bust of 32 inches, up to a size H, which is a bust of 43.3 inches. But I just thought it'd be a really nice classic t-shirt and perfect for pairing with jeans, and I thought I'd like to give it a go. I have tried French Navy's Stellan tee, which is their free t-shirt pattern. I made a couple of versions of that and I really like it. But I do find with cotton jersey fabrics, the sort of seam of the French Navy tee is slightly drop shoulder and it sort of sits along here. And I find with cotton jersey, it can make it a bit bulky, and for me it looks a bit angular on my shoulders. It's fine with a drapier fabric like a viscose. But I thought the drop shoulder grown on sleeve version of this Austerity would maybe be a better suit for me in my body shape. So I thought I'd give it a go. So I found some fabric that I really want to make a proper version of, which is lovely fabric that I'd originally made a dress in. And I had quite a lot left. I think with this fabric, I'd ordered not enough and I had to order some more, and I ended up with too much after ordering some more anyway. But it's this really lovely art gallery cotton jersey with this ice cream print on. I really love this fabric. I think it might still be in stock at Minerva when I last looked. If it is, I will link it down below. Really pretty fabric with this white base and all these pretty ice creams on. And I'd originally made a Kylo wrap dress in this fabric. But I have plenty left, and I was hoping I might have enough left to squeeze out a Austerity by French Navy. But I didn't want to risk cutting into this fabric before I knew how it would fit, so I decided to use another larger piece of fabric in my stash to give it a go and make another wearable toile. I feel like I'm all about the wearable toiles at the moment. Maybe I've got a bit... I think it's because I'm trying out new patterns. I tried out the new look pattern, the new Hovia pattern. This is another new pattern to me, and I'd been making quite a few of the same patterns before then, so I didn't need to toile it, but I thought I'd give it a go anyway and make a wearable toile. And I had this really cute fabric in my stash, just enough of it, with this Dalmatian print on. And I'd originally used this fabric to make my mum a Freya top, so one of these tops by tilling the buttons, because my mum's a big fan of the 101 Dalmatians story, so I thought it would be a fun one for her. And I got this fabric ages ago from Stoff and Still. I think they're called Self-Made now. I'll link them below. I don't think this fabric's probably still in stock. But yeah, it's really nice, cute cotton jersey fabric. So I thought I'd use it to make this toile of the French Navy Austerity. I didn't have quite enough of the fabric, so I ended up using some black cotton jersey I had left over for the little turned up cuffs and for the neckband. I also had a little pocket in the black too, which I quite like how that's turned out actually. It was a fun make actually, and it came together really nicely. The neckband went in really well. I often find I have to tweak the length of a neckband on the patterns if it's sort of sitting a little bit too sort of flapping out, but this one went in really well, so I was really pleased with that. And it's got this nice little split hem detail too, so you can see it here. And it was just quite a satisfying sew that I managed to sew up yesterday in a couple of hours, so quite a quick one. And in terms of sizing on this one, I had a look at the sizing and then the finished garment measurements. And based on the finished garment measurements, it looked like there'll be plenty of room in the size A, the smallest size for me at the bust and the waist, but the hips might be a little bit tight. I think the finished garment measurements for the size A had the hip as 34.5 inches, so yeah, smaller than my hips. So I did a size A at the bust and then graded out to a size B at the hips. And that seems to have turned out well, so I'm really pleased how this little t-shirt has come together. And I got a picture of it yesterday too, so I'll put it up so you can see. So it's quite a fun little make, and I think I'm going to go on now to make a version using this really cute ice cream fabric. I did actually lengthen the t-shirt by 1 inch for this version because I thought it might come up a bit short, so I can tuck it into jeans. And I'm not sure with the ice cream fabric whether I actually don't lengthen it and go for more of an intentionally cropped t-shirt. I need to muddle that one over a little bit, I think. And I also wasn't sure whether actually I might size out and just go for a straight size B all the way down and make it a little bit more boxy and oversized. So So I need to have a think about it, but I'm glad to find a use for a couple more fabrics in my stash that were fairly large pieces, so I could make something decent out of them. So that was a fun little one-day project. So I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to move on to now in terms of my sewing plans next. I've got one small thing I want to do, which is when I saw my sister at the weekend, she was mentioning that she really liked wearing the face masks I'd made her. And I didn't realise she'd been wearing them quite a lot. She hadn't really mentioned it before, so I didn't make her any more for Christmas in case she wasn't so keen on them and I was just giving her something that she'd feel she had to wear. But she said she did really like them, so I thought I'd make her one more. And I think I have just enough left of this really cute Liberty scrap. So for my Hovier jacket, I ordered 3 samples of fabric, just almost 10 centimetre length of them from Minerva, just so I could see the colours and how they went with the colour of my Hovier jacket. And this is one of the colourways I didn't use of the Liberty fabric, one of the sort of prints I didn't use. It's a really pretty floral print. It almost makes me think of a bit of 60s style floral print. It's got pinks in and yellows. I also had ordered a different colourway of this fabric as well, a kind of bluey pinky one. And I made a face mask for my mum out of the bluey and pinky one. But I thought it's a really pretty fabric, and I thought I'd just about be able to squeeze one of the 3D face masks out of it. I've got the 3D face mask pattern here, which is here. So I think I'll just be able to squeeze that, hopefully, out of this fabric to make, a face mask for my sister. And I've got some pink jersey left over from something I made for my daughter, just a little scrap of it here, that I can hopefully use for a jersey layer in between, sort of sandwich in between the face mask, and also for the ear hook bits. So that's one really quick make I'm going to make, so I can drop that around to my sister later in the week. That'll be fun to get that sorted. I feel like with face masks, I don't like to make loads at once, but if I have to make one every now and then, I find it quite a nice, satisfying little palette cleanser of project. And then my other plan, I think, is I'd like to start work on another cosy project while the weather's still cold. I'd like to give the plateau joggers a go. So I got this pattern for Christmas along with the Mile End sweatshirt. They sort of go together. They're both like closet core patterns. And I've made the Mile End sweatshirt now, and I'll be sharing that in my January makes video, and I really, really love it. But yeah, I really like to give the joggers a go too. So I think I'm going to start tracing that pattern out this week. So I need to have a look at it and figure out on the sizing what I am, whether I want to lengthen it, and also a couple of options to consider, particularly which cuff I want to go through at the bottom, whether I want to make a ribbing sort of style cuff or whether I want to go for an elasticated sort of one. I've done the ribbing cuff quite a few times from the Hudson pants and I quite like it, and I don't know whether to stick with what I know, whether to try a different type of bottom cuff there. But yeah, that is my next plan, I think, as well as making the face mask. So those are, I think, my next couple of sewing plans: the face mask for my sister, and I'll link the pattern I'm going to use down below. It's the 3D mask. She finds that one quite comfortable apparently, so I'm going to use that one. It's quite a nice sew with some top stitching. I do enjoy sewing that one. And then the plateau joggers, I'm really looking forward to giving these a go, and I'll be able to let you know how they compare to the True Bias Hudson pants. And then I think I'm hoping this week I'll have a couple of fabric deliveries arriving. On the weekend, on Saturday, there was a Minerva Craft Club VIP day. And if you're a Craft Club member, you got 20% off everything on their website. So I took the opportunity to purchase a couple of fabrics I've been eyeing up for a while, and I used my birthday money. So I'm hoping they'll arrive this week. So this Saturday, I'm planning on doing a fabric haul, pattern haul type of sewing plans type of video. So hopefully those fabrics will be there to be able to share them. Then I've also got a few items I got for my birthday that are sewing related, which I'm looking forward to sharing too, plus a couple of patterns. So I've got a few plans to share too. So hopefully it should be a good video with a few new bits and bobs to share with you then. So I'd love it if you would tune into that one on Saturday. So I think that's probably everything I've got to share for now. Hopefully today I'm going to get that face mask sewn up, and then I think I'll probably better get on with a few other jobs that I didn't do yesterday when I sort of took myself a bit of a sewing morning. So that is my plan today, to get busy around the house and get a few bits done. So I think probably I will see you again hopefully on Saturday for my fabric haul sewing plans type video, and I'll hopefully be back again next week for episode 5 of this sewing chat. I don't know where this year's going. I can't believe we're in February already, but it's quite nice now that spring is in the air. It's actually got really sunny outside now while I've been chatting, so yeah, it's a nice day. I might try and get out for a little bit of fresh air a bit later too. So I hope you're having a good day wherever you are, and that you managed to squeeze in a bit of sewing, or even just a little bit of thinking about something craft-wise. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you've enjoyed it, as ever, I would love it if you would give it a thumbs up. And if you're new to my channel, I would love it if you would consider subscribing so you can hear more from my midweek sewing chats and my weekend videos too. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll hopefully see you again soon. Bye!